Man, this news is kind of weird and even the situation, but I was reading here about a great player from the Wildcats and I found it shocking, and you'll understand. Let's analyze the situation of Kerr Kriisa. If you like to know more news about the team, subscribe to the channel. It's always a moment of commotion when a central figure in a team as traditional as the Kentucky Wildcats decides to change course. For BBN, the news of Kerr Kriisa's entry into the transfer portal came as an unexpected flash of lightning, illuminating a mix of surprise and dismay among fans. It's not just another player leaving. It's someone who carried with him the promise of being one of the pillars of the project led by Mark Pope in this upcoming season. Kriisa arrived at Kentucky surrounded by renewed expectations. After impressive stints at Arizona and West Virginia, he seemed ready to end his college career with a flourish in Lexington. His experience, especially at point guard, a role that demands not only technical skill but also leadership and vision, was seen as a plus for a team looking to rebuild its identity under Pope. However, an injury against Gonzaga abruptly cut that trajectory short, limiting his contribution to just 9 games and leaving the question hanging. Have we had enough time to see Kriisa's true value with the Wildcats? His departure, now official, is an emotional blow to fans. Even more so because it seems to have happened without much overt sign of dissatisfaction or discontent. The decision to take a medical redshirt to extend his NCAA eligibility shows that Kriisa still has a hunger for college basketball, but has chosen to seek that final chapter elsewhere. And here's the big question. Does he really see more opportunities outside of Kentucky? Or is there something that might make him reconsider? Mark Pope knows better than anyone how valuable Kriisa could be to this roster. With his experience, he would be a key player not only in coaching but also as a mentor to the young talents who are just starting to establish themselves on the team. Kriisa's style of play fits perfectly with Pope's philosophy of building dynamic, cohesive teams capable of competing at a high level throughout the season. Losing a player of his caliber, even after a significant injury, is giving up a potential game-changer for the group. The legacy that Kriisa would leave at Kentucky, should he decide to stay, would be immense. He has already proven himself to be a leader on the court, someone who can make crucial plays, distribute the ball accurately, and, above all, bring maturity to pressure moments. His previous resume speaks for itself. Consistent averages of points, assists, and rebounds over 5 years show that we are talking about a complete, versatile, and reliable player. Even though his numbers at Kentucky were modest, that was a direct reflection of the short sample size before the injury. One can only imagine the impact he could have over a full season, with health and continuity. Now, as Kriisa ponders his next destination, BBN can only hope that he will reconsider his decision, perhaps? A very difficult thing to do. After all, few programs can offer the kind of platform that Kentucky provides. Here, he would have the chance to shine, wearing a legendary jersey and being guided by a visionary coach like Mark Pope. Plus, the unique atmosphere at BBN, known for its passionate support and infectious energy, is something that few alternative choices could match. For anyone who follows college basketball, it is clear that Kriisa still has a lot to offer. The question is whether he will realize that the best opportunities may be right where he already is. Kentucky is not just another stop on his career path. It is a chance to solidify his name among the greats who have worn the blue and white jersey. So if I could leave you with a message, I thought, Kerr, before you make any final decisions, think about this. Sometimes the greatest adventure is the one you haven't finished yet. And in Kentucky, with Mark Pope by your side, you could write something great. You should think about it. Let's go. When it comes to names that carry with them the weight of tradition and the emotional memory of fans, few are as memorable as Big Z, Zvonimir Ivizic, in the BBN imagination. The news that the center is once again in the transfer portal excited not only Arkansas fans, but also those who still have vivid memories of his time at Kentucky. And now, with Mark Pope leading the Wildcats, a unique opportunity arises, bringing Big Z back to Lexington, not just as a nostalgic return, but as a strategic reunion that could yield significant results for both. Don't you think? Ivizic's departure last year, following John Calipari to Fayetteville, was seen by many as an inevitable outcome, but that didn't erase his relevance in the program's recent history. During his time with the Wildcats, he showed flashes of the dominant player he could be, especially in decisive moments. His ability to change defensive plays with precise blocks and his offensive versatility, whether in the paint or shooting from long range, have always attracted attention. It was precisely this promise that led Calipari to want him at Arkansas, betting on his potential to evolve even further. However, Ivizic's season with the Razorbacks had its ups and downs. Despite solid averages of 8.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks per game, he was unable to maintain the consistency necessary to establish himself as a key player on the roster. His minutes decreased drastically in the last few games, culminating in an almost residual presence in the final stretch of the season. This scenario raises a question. Would he find more stability and opportunities with Mark Pope? This is where the intriguing element comes in. Pope has demonstrated an ability to get the best out of players who, at times, seem lost in systems that do not align with their characteristics. He values versatile athletes, especially at the center position, who can contribute both on defense and in the modern offense. With his philosophy of collective and dynamic play, Pope could be exactly the coach that Big Z needs to make the qualitative leap that everyone expects. Furthermore, depth is one of Kentucky's main needs at the moment, and Ivizic would certainly help fill that void. For BBN fans, the idea of seeing Big Z return to Rupp Arena is a dream that mixes nostalgia and pragmatism. Imagine him wearing the blue and white uniform again, this time guided by Pope's innovative vision. It would be a chance for redemption, an opportunity to show that the player who shone in isolated moments can be something much greater. And, who knows, maybe Ivizic himself will miss the unique atmosphere that only Kentucky can offer, that contagious energy that turns players into legends. Of course, there are obstacles. Ivizic may be looking for a starting role elsewhere, something that is not guaranteed at Kentucky given the competitiveness of the roster. But at the same time, it is important to remember that the most obvious path is not always the most rewarding. Playing under the lights of a giant program like Kentucky, with a coach who seems genuinely interested in developing your talent, may be the smartest move for your career. So, Big Z, here's our message: come home. Not just because Kentucky needs you, but because you deserve a chance to write a different chapter in your story. One where you find the consistency and recognition your skills deserve. And most of all, come back to be coached by Mark Pope, someone who can help you reach heights you may not have even imagined yet. Who knows? I want to hear your thoughts now. Comment below.